Oh man, that is a nice 10-ounce silver bar. Check out Mercury. Well done to SMI. All right, welcome back to Florida Stacker on YouTube. It's been a minute since I've made a video. For those of you that are still sticking around and subscribers, really appreciate that. And if you're new, check out some of these 10th ounce gold coins. Now, the reason I'm showing you these is because I actually buy and sell silver. I don't just stack it, I actually sell it. And before we get into this unboxing, I wanted to make you guys aware that if you're interested in learning of my precious metals sales, check out the video description section down below. Send me an email to get onto my email list, and you'll see my prices and inventory and everything I got to offer you guys. So if you're interested in that, check it out. All right, so we've got a couple of small silver bars that I want to show you guys today. And when I say small, I'm talking about the 1 ounce, the 5 ounce, and the 10-ounce silver bar. And you can go below 1 ounce, right? You can go less than 1 ounce, but that's really probably in a whole new category. So let's just focus on 1 troy ounce up to 10 ounces today, starting with these Highland Mint 1 ounce silver bars. So the 1 ounce silver bar to me is a bit of a contradiction because as a stacker myself, if I'm going to go with a 1 ounce product, 99.9% of the time, I'm going to buy a silver coin or a silver round, because when I'm looking at the 1 ounce in silver, okay, we're talking about silver, gold, that's a whole new story, but it's just not quite enough value for an individual product in my mind. So when I'm looking at silver bars, I'm thinking, how do I purchase more silver than 1 troy ounce that I would get with a coin or a round in a single product? And that's where the 5 and the 10 ounce and the kilo and the 100 ounce silver bars come into play. So 1 ounce silver bars aren't exactly my thing as a stacker, but I did want to show you some nice examples here from the Highland Mint. These 1 troy ounce fine silver, these are all 3/9 fine, just like you'd get with an American Silver Eagle or, you know, most of your other generic bullion products out there. Yeah, there are a few that are 4/9 fine, but they're just showing off. So if I'm going to stack a silver bar again, I'd probably skip these 1 ounce bars. Now let's get to the 5 ounce silver bars, because this is where it really comes into me when it comes to weight, where I'd be interested in making a purchase. This is the smallest weight that I would be interested in purchasing, a 5 ounce silver bar. And the Sunshine Mint makes some of the finest products out there when it comes to bullion. So you've got the Mint ID or the Mint SI or whatever they call it. It's their proprietary little shield there on the back that you can scan with one of those little decoder rings you used to get out of the cereal boxes to make sure that your silver is actually silver. So it's just one more mechanism to bring trust to the stacker. Again, the 5 ounce silver bar is, you know, a bit more than you're typically going to get with a 1 troy ounce or a 2 ounce coin or round, right? You're getting anywhere between 4 or 3 more ounces of silver in a single product. So that's where I'd start. And again, you've got protection from the environment, though don't be fooled. If you leave this out in sunlight, it's totally going to tarnish, okay? You still got to keep it in a cool, dry place. But 5 troy ounces for me is the minimum, because you're looking at a budget of under $200 here for a single purchase. And someone who's looking to have a little bit more wealth in silver in a purchase is probably going to want to start here if you're not looking at silver rounds or coins, okay? That, once again, just my opinion. Some of you guys can stack the 1 troy ounce stuff as much as you possibly want to in bar form. That's up to you. I think, you know, the silver round is just a better option if you're looking at generic silver at 1 troy ounce. So again, the Sunshine Mint, one of the best products out there. And Liberty Coin, they do have quite a few products like this and more that you can order at a pretty good price. And definitely not sponsored by Liberty Coin. I've never even talked to anybody that works at that business, but one of the places that I've been shopping at for 5 or 6 years now and had great success with. Good packaging, fast shipping, very discreet. I like shopping at Liberty Coin, so wanted to make sure to get that in there while I'm talking about the products that we're reviewing today. All right. So note to self, when you're cutting into your package, don't cut too deep. I did cut into the plastic. But this Mercury, which is a newer design coming from SMI or the Sunshine Mint, is quite a nice looking silver bar in my opinion. Now, of course, I personally prefer a more feminine product, but when it comes to design and generic, you got a winner here, okay? You normally don't get stuff like this from some of the generic mints. This is a very, very nice looking bar. And as you turn it from left to right, you'll see a little bit different reflection. You've got more of a polished background finish. And you can see the god Mercury. Yeah, it's a pretty nice silver bar. So when it comes to stacking generic silver bars, if you can save, I don't know, $5, $10 over a Royal Canadian Mint or a Britannia 10-ounce silver bar, which share the exact same dimensions and will fit in the exact same coin capsules, I'd look at this Mercury as an option. If you are on a smaller budget, again, the 5-ounce silver bar, it's going to offer you a little bit better, price point, obviously. Not quite half the price, because you will pay just a little bit more premium for the 5-ounce bar than you would the 10-ounce silver bar, but it's pretty negligible because, quite honestly, 5 ounces, 10 ounces of silver, it's not a whole lot of silver. Now, when you want to step your game up, you're going to be looking at 20 ounces, and that's going to be where coin tubes come in. 20 ounces or even 25 ounces of silver. So the 10-ounce silver bar does offer a pretty interesting price point for silver stackers that kind of falls in line with what you would expect to pay for a 10th-ounce gold coin. But however, the price of gold has gone up quite a bit more than silver lately, so therefore those 10th-ounce gold coins are going to cost you a bit more. So again, you may find more value in a 10-ounce silver bar, and it's a nice design. It reminds me a lot of the Britannia silver bar. Like the Britannia silver bar, the Sunshine Mint silver bar lacks the reeded edge you'll find with the Royal Canadian Mint silver bar. Oh yeah, nice little scratch there. Way to go, Florida Stacker. So again, don't cut too deep into your packaging. You got precious contents inside. That's totally my bad. And actually, in 5 years doing these unboxings, I can say that's the first time I've done that. So when you're considering between a 10th ounce gold or a 10-ounce silver bar, price might be the biggest factor. But generally speaking, a 10th ounce gold coin and 10-ounce silver bars usually compete for attention with stackers, depending on which precious metal you want to stack. So again, the key takeaways from Florida Stacker, my opinions here, again, just my opinions. I wouldn't stack 1-ounce silver bars. That kind of defeats the purpose of a silver bar, in my opinion. It's meant to have more weight than your coins or your rounds. Otherwise, just stack coins and rounds and fill them in tubes. That way they're divisible in any quantity that you want. I think the 5-ounce, again, is the smallest silver bar I'd buy. Generally speaking, though, I try to stick with nothing less than 10 ounces. And again, you'll find them in the low $300, maybe to mid $300 range based on today's spot price. Probably a little bit cheaper than 10th-ounce gold coins due to gold's record high performance. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I look forward to seeing you back during the next one. Keep stacking, my friends.
Thank you for watching our video. I hope you subscribe to our YouTube channel.